Hi, Grubs and Chops, CEO Grubs and Chops. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm so sorry. Apologies for the delay. The network has been terrible. I'm so
It's okay.
sorry.
It's okay. I totally
So let's
understand.
start for our discussion today is about tips to consider when hiring caterers for events. But before we get into that, I'd like you to please introduce yourself to our viewers at home.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Just tell us your name, what you do, where you're located.
Fantastic. My name is Oluranti Ola. By the grace of God, I'm the CEO of Grubs and Chops. So my friends also call me Chef Grubs. I'm a professional chef. I reside and work in Abuja. I own a catering outfit called Grubs and Chops. We're on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Grubs and Chops and Chef Grubs. But mostly at Grubs and Chops because the Chef Grubs is very difficult handling two pages. So I just mostly focus on Grubs and Chops and just ignore the Chef Grubs for now. Yes.
Fantastic, thank you. So before we get into the topic for today, I thought we should first of all talk about what catering is all about. Because there's a lot of misunderstanding, there's a lot of misconception about people sort of mix up alase, is it, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, Oloko and caterers. Is it Oloko or Oloko? Oloko, right? Oloko, right, yeah. So what's the difference between alase, Oloko and caterers? Is there a difference or they are
Oh,
all the same?
oh, they are very different. It's just like saying, I get where the confusion comes from. It's just like the way people find it difficult to differentiate between a cook and a chef. They are two different responsibilities and they are two different categories. Same thing for a caterer and Oloko or Alasi. So here's the thing, yeah. I wouldn't want to say everybody, but there are people that cook, right? They cook for a living, like they cook, put them in the kitchen, give them what to cook, they will cook it, give them this to cook, they will cook that. Now, a caterer is someone that understands the cooking aspect of the food industry and also the business aspect. A caterer is someone that understands the cooking aspect of the catering industry and also the business aspect of it because they are two different sides. I mean, they are two different aspects, but the ability to merge both together and run a successful catering outfit or a catering business, that makes you a caterer, right? As a caterer, you should be able to know how to hire staff, hire the right staff. But so many things. You need to know how to. You need to have the high bargaining power. You have to know how to negotiate
Why
pricing.
is it also important to hire caterers instead of contracting it to Alase or Olo or Alase? Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I would advise anyone who has an event and wants the event to turn out successful to hire a caterer for the food aspect and not an oloko or my auntie's uncle, I mean my auntie's niece that knows how to cook or my mother-in-law's sister that knows how to cook or
Yeah.
my sister's junior younger sister that knows how to cook. The reason being that if you hire a caterer, there is a high sense of what do you put it? How do you put it now? It you have responsibility. You have someone to hold responsible if things go wrong or if things go right. Now, if you're going for family or favors for your event, if anything goes bad at all or goes wrong at all, you can't hold anybody responsible. That being said, for you to have a very good event, you must hire a good caterer. I mean, you should hire a good caterer. Everybody that has an event wants their event to be the talk of the town. You understand? When you see your friends or people in the next
Yeah.
few months, Roti, your birthday party. Oh my God, I absolutely enjoyed myself. There was so much to eat. Compare that feedback to, oh, Roti, or people even tell it to the face. You just hear it from other people that party that woman did, food was not enough. The food was even, the rice was spoiled. The chicken was, it was like toothpick. So number one on my list is budget. Hmm. Oh, good. This is probably, some people will probably disagree with me for putting this as number one, but for me, it is number one on the list because it is what you
Okay.
have that will determine what you
You
should
walk with. Okay.
work towards. Do you understand? Some people, I mean, you're a people person, you want to invite the whole of Abuja, or you want to invite about 1,000 persons, and then your budget is like maybe for 200 persons. I mean, there's no magic in it. You cannot turn water to wine. You cannot feed 1,000 people with 2 loaves of fishes, I mean, 2 loaves of bread and 5 fishes.
Loaves of
Do you
bread.
understand? And 5 loaves of bread. You
Yeah.
can't. That's only, it was only Jesus that did it, and he has done it, right? It's not going to happen again, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
So you should have a budget that you are going to use to plan. The way you have a budget for your DJ, the way you have a budget for your hall that you're going to rent,
Exactly.
the way you have budget for your deco, the way you have budget for the clothes you're going to wear, the way you have budget for these things, you should have a budget for the food. Do you understand? Now, if you have a
Yeah.
budget, for example, if my budget is all low, I have just 500,000 to spend on food for this event. I can't go higher. In fact, if I get it lower, by all means, but I cannot go higher than 500,000. Fantastic. You know what you're working with. So now your you can tailor what you want, your menu, the number of guests, according to this budget that you have. Do you understand? Like I said, your budget. Number two, now that you have your budget, you can now start working on your guest size. Do you understand? Oh, sorry.
Guest
Number
size.
two, yes, start working on your guest size. What is obtainable out there in the food industry? Contact like 3, 4, 5 caterers, right? Request for
Mm-hmm.
probably request for menu, or if you have a menu you want to work with, ask them what would it cost me to this and that for a wedding or for this party. How much is it going to cost me per head? How much is it going to cost me per head? How much will it cost me for 50 people? How much will it cost me for 100 people? How much will it cost me for this and that? In catering, the higher the numbers, the lower the price. For me personally, I work with the way I charge per head. Some people don't charge per head. Some people charge, for example, if you come to me now and you tell me, I need a menu, or this is the menu I want, and I want it for 100 guests. Do you understand? So they will now go and do their calculations of costing, and then come back to me and say, okay, oh, for 100 guests, this is the amount. Do you understand? Now, that works for some
Yeah.
people. It doesn't work for some people. For me, it doesn't work for me. I like to be transparent. Do you understand? So what I do is, if you tell me this is what you want, and it's what you want for 100 guests, I go to my costing sheet, I do my costing, and then I get the total amount to cost me for 100 guests, yes. And then I now divide it by 100. That way, I get the cost per head. So when I'm giving you my invoice, I tell you, okay, this is the amount per person, and this is the total for 100 people, right? And so on and so forth. If you're doing it, if you now, some customers can be very wise, or they think they're wise, right? So if you give them a price for that 100 people, maybe for example, you're charging 2,500 per person, and then for 100 people, that's 250,000. And now say, okay, please let's reduce it to 80. If a caterer is giving you a cost or a
Okay.
bill or an invoice of, for example, 2,005 for per person for 100 guests, and then you now go back and forth, you're now coming back to say, okay, I want it for 70 people, I want it for 80 people. Do you understand? That 25, for someone that knows, that is actually in the business to make profit, that 25 is not obtainable anymore because the number
Yeah.
has reached. Some things are constant, irrespective of the number. Do you understand? For example,
Yeah.
it's the same amount of money I'm going to spend on transportation if I'm going to buy food for 50 people that will still use
Exactly.
buy things for 200 people. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's same amount of gas, right? It's the same electricity. I'm still going to pay the same amount of money to my workers. So some things are constant, irrespective of whether you increase the price, the quantity, or whether you reduce the quantity. So if you reduce the quantity from that 100 to maybe 80 or 70 or 50, automatically the price will go up, because I will have to go back to my costing sheet and then readjust some things. But some things, those things are constant, will still reflect and also influence the price. Do you understand? So that's the thing. So you have to, that's what also differentiates a caterer from an Oloko. Oloko will just say, oh, okay, so it's not your LA, what's your LA, what's your LA, what's your LA, to reduce it. Let's just multiply it by 80, or let's just multiply it by
The food will not be enough. Food will not be enough when you get to the party.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's the thing. Now you have to work with your guest size. So if you now have a guest size, okay, you've already made your research. You see that what's maybe on the average, what's obtainable for the menu you want is maybe 3,000 per person or 2,500 per person. Okay, my budget is 500,000. What's on the average, what's obtainable is about 2,500 per person. That should be able to take care of 200 guests. Now you can now work on your guest size to fit the budget. Do you understand? Your guest size automatically 200 guests to fit. You cannot have a guest of 500 guests and a guest size of 500, and then have a budget of 500,000, and then the menu they are giving you is 250,000. 2,500 per person. Do you understand? And then you now say, hey, just do the food. People are funny. Some people now say, hey, do the food for 200 people. Maybe you put extra now. Put extra of over 200. It's not possible. It's not possible. And also, you shouldn't be expecting me to put extra or jara of 100. Am I stealing it? Gone are those days. Things are different now. So that's the thing. So number one, your budget. Number two, your guest size. Number three, now that you have your guest size and you already have a rate that is obtainable across board, you have to select your caterer based on proper research. Oh, you will research. You will research. If you're the type, if you do events often, you will have people that you work with, that you're comfortable with. That's an improvement. But if you don't do events as much, do you understand? Maybe it's your first time doing a large party like this, right? Or you're going to a new place, you don't want to go with people that you know in your location, you want to get new people in the new location you're going to have to research. Talk to people, your friends in that area, look out for event planners that can recommend people, look out for your co-workers or friends that have done events or can recommend people. Do you understand? Also, you've probably gone to events in that locality before. If you have, you must have seen some caterers that you love their services. Do you understand? Get their contact. Look for their page. So for the research, you have to get a caterer that is professional, right? And this is also what differentiates caterer from Oloko. Do you understand? Yeah. So you have to get a caterer that is professional. Some caterers I've seen, not even heard now, I've seen caterers that it's just they say, "Well, I'm gonna sort that out. What are you sorting out? There's a lot of planning that goes into catering. I've been in this business for how many years now? This is 2023, for about 12 to 13 years now. And I'm never relaxed as it's a walk in the park. It is never a walk in the park, right? I still have anxiety every event, no matter how little, no matter how small, no matter how large the event is. There is always that anxiety for me that I just ready. Even my staff, I'm sure they are tired of me because I want to know the nitty-gritty of it. Have you Have you done that? So things cannot go wrong because at the end of the day, it's my reputation on the line. So check how professional they are. What is their integrity? Thank God, go on social media, right?
Yeah.
Ask around. Even if most people not negative reviews on their page. Do you understand? But when you go through their page and you see all the good reviews, go through the comment section. There are people that have commented on this thing. Send them DMs. Do you understand? How far is this lady as genuine or is this man as genuine as he or she claims? Do you understand? Talk to people. Ask around. who has used drugs and drugs before? Who has used Chef Kibola before? Who has used that before? How was service? Did they, was it what you that they brought to you? I've been to events where two caterers were paid to do the same thing, the same number of guests, right? You do 200, 200, and then all of a sudden, you serve within like how many minutes you finish serving 200. It's not possible while I am still serving or the other caterer is still serving the same 200. It's not possible. You understand? So people test integrity basically. Also, you need to watch out if they go the extra mile. Are they willing to discuss what you want to do? You understand? Not trying to force what they
Impose, yeah.
what they for you. Are they willing to sit down with you, hear you out, discuss what you want? Do they understand your vision? Are they willing to advise or recommend if need be? Do you understand? So those are the things. Also, you need to watch
Sorry,
out for.
I need to
Um,
ask.
I have a mantra, and one of my mantras is that we eat with our eyes first. Take it or you leave it. In as much as their food is probably good, and is the presentation attractive, because at the end of the day, if the presentation is attractive, the set of attractive, something that not aesthetically pleasing, doesn't bode well for you. If everybody say it's just blah, it's just blah. Do you understand? So those are the things they're going to get out for. Number three is the area of
Oh,
specialization of the kitchen.
area of
This is
what?
very what? Area of specialization of the
Okay.
caterer. Number four, this one is for the client. Now, the client should also be professional. In as much as you are looking for a professional caterer, the client should also be professional, right? Don't try to play smart. You only get, you only have yourself to blame at the end of the day. Because, like it or not, the caterer is in the business to make profit. So if you are trying to cut corners, trying to say, okay, your guest size, you're telling the caterer your guest size is 200. Meanwhile, your guest size is 300 or 400. If you're getting a caterer like me, I will bring the 200 and a little extra. Of course, I'm going to bring a little extra, but I can guarantee you the little extra I'm bringing on top will not feed your 300 guests. Because I am buying these things from the market. With the level of inflation right now, we all know how it is, right? So that's the thing. Clients should also be professional. They should be truthful. They should be honest. Be honest. That's it for the customer. Be honest. Be open. And also try not to if you want to have an event, if you want to do an event, get the right professional for the appropriate work. I do food. I don't do drinks, right? So don't come to me and tell me, your waiters will help me serve drinks. It is wrong. It is wrong. If you're willing to pay extra, by all means, right? Because my waiters know that I am using them for food. Because I do food, I don't do drinks. So when I bring waiters to an event and you tell me that your waiters will help me serve drinks, if you tell me that before I get to the event, I will tell you they will charge you extra. Do you understand? Or I get extra waiters to handle the drinks. But if you now don't tell me that and you make me get to the event venue and then we're already serving food and I say, hey, give me some of your waiters, let them come and serve drinks. I'm like, first of all, it has already reduced and also affected the efficiency of my service. Do you understand? Now you're not moving them to go and serve drinks. It is very wrong. Don't do that. Its waiters cost now from on the average of 5,000. You get a good waiter, a good enough waiter. Get waiters to do this one. Get different waiters to do this one. Get different waiters to do that one. Don't try to boycott or try to play smart and say because you are trying to save money. It is wrong. You don't get your decorator to come and do your DJ's work. So don't get the caterer to come and do the drinks person's work or vice versa. That's what I'm going to advise. Number 5, clients should also know what they want to avoid unnecessary back and forth. I think I mentioned this a little bit when I was talking about doing your research. There are some caterers that will stay in their comfort zone. Before you employ a caterer, you should know what you want. You should know what you want. Okay, I want, for example, if it is finger foods you want, these are the type of finger foods that I want. Finger foods are vast. We have the what we call small chops, which is most common here in Nigeria. There's another aspect of finger foods called the hors d'oeuvres, which mostly is called canapes here in Nigeria as well. Do you understand? There's also another type that is called the grazing board. Do you understand? There are different types of finger food catering. So know what you want. Don't let caterer, supposed caterer, come and impose what they know on you. So those are my tips for anyone that wants to get a caterer for their event.
Thank you so much. You've said a lot, from budgeting to knowing what you want.
I'm a caterer by profession. I am located in Abuja. So basically, we are specialized in canapé catering, finger food catering, food catering, what else? Grills. That's what we do really. General food catering. It could be your continental meals, it could be your Nigerian meals, but definitely not local meals or native meals. No. So yeah, that's what we do. And we're located in Abuja, Nigeria. And my name is Roti, by the way.
So this is where we say thank you so much for joining in. We spent 30 minutes with you. We really appreciate you. Live. We hope to
Bye.
have you around next time.
No
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
pleasure.
Good night.
You.
Good night. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you all for joining in.